Welcome to Laguna Seca in this week's GT3 long race. Now, being a long race means we're going to have to choose our tyres, and we're going to go for a good old hard set of tyres for the first stint of the race, knocking the fuel down to about 20 laps. And as you can see, we have chosen the good old trusty Aston Martin. Now, I do have a feeling that this is the better, if not the best car on tyres in this race. So, well, in the GT3 lobbies anyway. Let me know down below in the comments if you know a car that is better on tyres than the Aston. So the idea is choosing the Aston, going on hard tyres for the first part of the race, and then the latter part of the race going on to medium tyres as we're trying to survive everybody diving in to the apex in the first corner. Thankfully though, we've gained a few places coming out of that, so we've done alright. A few people were victims to an onslaught that they was not expecting, and thankfully I managed to breeze through it. But yeah, heading back to the tyres, so going towards the medium set of tyres at the end of the race, we can give it one good old push towards the end. That's providing everything goes to plan. We're going to have to see what the tyres look like when we get at lap 10 and halfway through the race, because it is a 20 lap race, and see where we're standing on the pile of everything else. I do wonder what the other strategies are for this race, if the position ones and the guys further up front are running medium tyres, are going to be pitting maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm not too sure, but it'll be quite interesting to see as we do make a few more positions, as we are now in position 7, which is absolutely brilliant. Not too bad, already claimed half of the pack on the way through, because we did start off in position 14. Now we're halfway through, well, one lap over, and we've claimed half of the places, which is really good news overall. We do need to try and keep away from the Aston behind us. I am probably running a lot of downforce in this car, so I'm not going to be the fastest in the run, but I'm going to hopefully be the quicker in the corners. That's my idea right now. Breaking down the second gear and turning in here, accelerating out the other side. The car at low speeds does have a little bit of a kick to it, where the back end does like to step out, but it's actually far more controllable now, as I have done a few more changes here and there in the tuning setup. But this car does really rotate very well. The only thing now, it does rotate well, it does have a little bit of a slide to it, so you have to be cautious of that. As we go into this corner, you can see it really does rotate very well, and the back end does give it a nice kick to push you around when you forget to turn as much as you need to. Over the curb we go, and up the hill, trying to catch up to the Porsche up in front, and thankfully keeping away from Broken Midas behind us, which is 1 second away. Really, I want to try and get past this Porsche up in front and catch up to the Mercedes and see where we're going to go from there. I am a little bit quicker in some places than the Porsche, but I do think the Porsche has a much better corner exit stability than I do myself. You see where they're coming out the corner, they can really push away, where I'm struggling to kind of put the power down and maintain control of the vehicle as I do kick the tail out. I mean, all the crowd is there, they're going to be so excited to see the back end of that car stepping out. They're going to love it, so, you know, gotta please everybody that is watching right now. Break into this corner now, down the second gear, turning in, going a little bit wide there, and accelerating out the other side. Should have braked a little bit earlier, and then I could have had better control of the car. Braking up just before 100 meter board, third gear, want to rub that curb on the right and accelerate out this corner again. Up to the 100 meter board here, just a touch of the brakes, over the curb on the right. As soon as you hit the sausage, start accelerating out the corner, and away we go. Keeping to the right hand side of the track, looking for the 200 meter board, braking down the third gear, about 75 to 80 miles per hour through that, and accelerating up the hill we go. Keep it to the right side again, looking out for the 200 meter board, touching the brakes, 90 miles per hour through the curb and out the other side. Ooh, getting very close to those track limits there. Position 8 behind me in the Mercedes, Mikachu 7530, has a 0.8 second penalty, but is also really drawing me in. There is another thing I'd like to point out, you might be able to see it in the video every now and again, and I don't know what it was with this race, but I had random frame stutters or frame drops, so where right now we should be locked at 60 frames per second, I was ending up going down to about 30, and you can see it was just not smooth. Now the recording and everything like that, there was no skipped frames, there's no any issues with the recording side of things, so I'm certainly not CPU or GPU bottlenecks or anything like that, because it's the first time I've had it. But it was really towards the middle where the corkscrew was of the track, and every time I approached that little section there, it was like really funky. I'm not too sure what was going on there. I mean, when we joined the race as well, there was stuttering, especially in the practice, and there was a lot of stuttering and a lot of frame drops. So I wonder if there was something more going on, like a connection issue or anything like that. But it was quite prevalent, and I did find it quite distracting. So with all the excuses out of the way that I can think of right now, and this one being quite unique, usually it's a skill issue or the tyres have fell off, I don't know. I've made up a new excuse, and hopefully these excuses will fix themselves. Anyway, we are now on lap 5 with a McLaren breathing all over this. We're going to brake in at the top of the corkscrew, down the second gear. They do an absolutely incredible undertake, and I tried to counteract with a little bit of switcheroo, and I get greeted with a lot of tail out happiness. Thankfully though, I was able to control it and keep this car going in the direction that we need it to. Sadly, like I say, it has cost us a few seconds here. Hopefully we'll be able to bring that back. As we come over to the right hand side, we're looking at the 200 meter marker, braking just before it, down the second gear and turning in. Rub that curve on the left, accelerates out the corner. Stingray B1NL, I do believe they are also an Aston Martin. They're going to start slowly catching us up by the looks of it. 1.4 seconds away, whilst I'm 1.9 for the car. That McLaren's also just overtaken the Mercedes. I wonder if they're on medium tyres, because they are really, really quick. If there are medium tyres, they've only got 1 or 2 laps left in them, I reckon, before they're going to have to pit. And I wonder if they also started at the back of the pack and are working their way up, because they really are sending it. Anyway, Stingray has found another 4 attempts upon me as I'm braking at a 200 meter board, coming in here a little bit slow. As you can see, a little bit of a frame drop again. I'm going to keep pointing out my terrible driving and blaming it on something else. Over here we go, through the curb and up the hill, and yeah, well, I'm gaining a bit of time from them now, but we are also setting a better lap pace as well, which is nothing but good things to see. We are in position 8, the Porsche and the Mercedes are up in front. The McLaren's also overtaken the Porsche. Crikey, we wanted to overtake that Porsche for ages. Coming around these 2 corners here now, rub that curb on the right hand side, accelerate out, back over to the right, just before 200 meter board, braking down a second gear and not locking up like I just did. But whilst we are going down and crossing over the start and finish line again for the start of lap 7, we have a little bit of breathing space. I'd be really grateful of you if you go down the screen a little bit and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying what you're watching here. We'll be braking as the cones start on the right hand side, down a second gear, rubbing these curbs on the left and accelerating out of this corner. Back over to the left hand side, 100 meter board just before it, touching the brakes, 3rd gear, over the curb we go and accelerating out the other side. Keeping it on your left hand side here, 100 meter board, touching the brakes, rub the curb on the right. As soon as you get close to that sausage, start applying that power. I follow the flow of the track over to the right hand side. You get to the 200 meter board here, braking down to 3rd gear, about 75 to 80 through here, and up the hill we go, and then back over to the right hand side. Lap 9 brings us a new interesting feat of what is going on in this race. As you can see, we have only gained 1 position, 1 car has entered the pits. This is telling me that everybody in this race are on possibly hard tyres, as I cut the corner of the track and I get no penalty. Thank you, that's much appreciated. I definitely cut the corner. It was definitely an accident, but I definitely cut it. Anyway, we are on the end of lap 9, starting for lap 10. Oh, that Mercedes has gone into the pits. I mean, our tyres are not looking pretty, there's no 2 ways about it, but I do feel I got a few more laps in these tyres compared to the other car. Obviously that's gone into the pits. I wonder if they was on medium tyres and extending those tyres, because I would say I'm about 40% wear here, and I don't think the Mercedes is that tyre hungry. Correct me down in the comments below if I am wrong, you know, but I don't think it's that tyre hungry, as Stingray tries to make a move on the inside there. I apply a bit of power, have a little bit of funkiness, but ultimately regain that position back and close the door and then making any possible moves. Braking at a 200 meter board, down the 3rd gear, closing the door a little bit on them, and up the hill we go. Got to try our best to defend our position. I was going to be looking up the inside by the corkscrew. I'm going to close the door a little bit. Probably a little bit too much there where it had to brake. Yeah, it was a bit of a dirty move by my part. I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments below, but yeah, I'd say that's kind of a bit of a cheeky move. Right, it has pushed them back a good bit, so I have a bit of freedom again now. I have a bit of breathing space. The last thing I need is to be under pressure as the tyres are wearing a little bit thin. Let's see what these two guys are doing. They are both off into the pits. I'm going to be staying out. I want to get about another lap or two out of these tyres, because if I go into the medium set, I want to know and pretty much be guaranteed that they're going to last towards the end of the race. I mean, there's never a guarantee on it, but like guesstimate, guess, there's a lot of guesses in that, would hopefully that medium tyres may last. Anyway, we are in position 1, guys. I mean, I'm not going to have it forever, I don't think, but I'm certainly not going to be able to do the no-stop strategy on these tyres, considering they're already quite worn as they are. I'm only halfway through the race this time. So yeah, I am not chancing a no-stop strategy. Looking at the tyres now, we have our front tyres on minor wear, and so are both of the rears. Surprisingly enough though, I've only lost about a second to player 2. So I'm not overly concerned by the time, but I am noticing actually quite the drop with these tyres hitting moderate wear, minor wear. As you can see, I'm already half a second down off my best lap time, and that is quite a lot to lose. I don't want to lose any more than that, because I don't want the person who was behind me before they went into the pits catching up to me at this precise moment when I exit the pits, because the pitting takes so long at Laguna Seca. When I exit the pits, I want to be in front of that person. I don't want to have to try and overtake him. But as we do enter the pits, we are going to be going for another set of medium tyres. And I'm also going to be taking a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Andy Good, Jeffrey Anderson, DMC Motorsport Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, John Burns, AK47 and Uncle Boney. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel, and if you'd also like to join in and support the channel, get access to exclusive content, hit the join button down below, and also be in a chance to win a special prize which will be shown at the end of this video. As we are exiting the pits, it does take forever, and I'm hopefully that I didn't get to see their name or position, that they're not in P1, because that means I've lost a lot more time than I'd hoped for. That is another car's gone past. Hopefully that's not P2. That might be that was P4, and that's P14. Okay, so there might have been 1, 2, and 3. We're waiting for P5. That might be P5, P6. No, that's the Aston Martin coming around. No, come on, power, come on, let me out, let's go, power. Ooh, we are out just in front, and we are on the better tire. Oh my gosh, look at that. The tyres are cold because it takes that long to come out the pits. They've lost all the heat in the tyres. Oh, position 6 there is the 5.3 second penalty and hasn't pitted, so that's going to be messy to try and get past this person. I wonder why they've not pitted. Their tyres must be wrecked. I mean, my tyres weren't the best. Oh, they let me through. Thank you very much. And that's actually the cleanest underpass I've done in a long time there. They are saying something in chat and I have no idea what. Anyway, we can't really dwell on things like that. Position 1 is 32 seconds away. Oh, my gosh, that is dreadful. Well, they haven't had the fun we've had. That's all I can say. As we're coming through the corkscrew and out the other side, getting a great exit. The Aston behind didn't get such a good exit, and we are making strides. These medium tyres are really working well, and that means, hopefully, I can either keep pace, better my pace, and catch up the cars in front, and hopefully keep away from Stingray 81NL behind us. That's the most important part. I'd rather try and catch up to the cars up in front and not sacrifice the position behind me. You know, it's better to stay onto the tarmac than it is to totally mess it up. Coming around this corner now in second gear and accelerating out the other side. What is that car up in front? A red car, looks probably a Ferrari. I wonder what position they are in. P14, is it? I can see from a distance. I'm blind as a bat, you know, 100 years old and can't see anything anymore. Anyway, we are better in our time by 1/10 up to now. That's not too bad. Thankfully, the car we're catching up on does ghost out as we are about to lap them. Sometimes I've been in some races, I think it's the endurance races where they don't ghost out. And yeah, it can throw you off sometimes when you do forget. So I tried to avoid going through ghosted cars, especially that one time when it really did bite me in the backside of going through Maple Valley, where I went through a ghosted car, and as I about to go through that ghosted car, it came out a ghost. So that is a lesson I learned the hard way, is don't even attempt to go through ghosted cars. It is not worth the hassle. Coming around this corner now, we are 1.3 seconds away from Stingray, 4.4 seconds away from Mikachu 7530, which is not good. I was hoping I'll catch up to them a bit more and gain a bit more time. I'm slightly off pace here. The Ferrari did put me off a little bit. I don't like going through ghosted cars because you get distracted by it, or I get distracted by it. I mean, let me know what happens to you down in the comments below. Do you get distracted by it as well? But yeah, it does throw me off sometimes. And if you'd like the ghosted cars just to disappear, hit that like button, and it might happen. Turn 10 might actually listen. Come around this corner, a couple of the curb on the right side, and away we go. As you can see, we have gained a position. That's because Mikachu went into the pits again, so they must have been choosing 2 sets of medium tyres. And I have a feeling the Aston Martin behind me has also chosen a medium set of tyres, because they are keeping pace with me. Yes, I'm not perfectly on pace. I'm a little bit slow at the moment, although I am setting better lap times. I still have a lot of room for improvement. But like I say, they are actually creeping up upon me, as you can see in the rearview mirror, and applying pressure to myself, which is never a good sign. But bearing that sign in mind, that does mean towards the end of the race, I'll have better tyres than they will. And I wonder if their medium set of tyres would last actually 10 laps, because I don't think it would. Considering hard tyres lasted 2 more, it's going to be a very close call. Either way though, at the end of the race, my tyres are going to be in a far better condition than theirs. So as I keep pressing on, hopefully they won't be able to make a move and eventually start dropping back off. But I am having a large gap from position 4, which she loves fade, which is 12.2 seconds away with a 1 second penalty. I'm certainly not going to catch that up. I'm certainly not going to catch up position 1, who's 38.7 seconds away. They are so far gone. They've got their own climate wherever they are. Keeping on the right hand side, just a touch of the brakes on the 200 meter board. Third gear through here, could have gone a little bit deeper, a little bit tighter, and probably actually a little bit faster. Keep it to the right hand side here, looking up for a 200 meter board. Touch of the brakes down to third gear, 95 miles per hour to 100 through there, and up the hill we go. Be careful going over the curb like I just did. Once you go over that curb, it does like to drag you a little bit further, so bear that in mind. You can actually go over the track limits there, and it does. It's not a friendly area, let's put it that way. Coming through here, touch of the brakes, clipping that curb on the left and accelerating out the other side. We are going to be... Oh look, there's Mikachu 7530. That must be on their new tyres. I wonder why they go so slow as well. I wonder if they've just given up. Be a shame if so, if they did, because they were pretty quick. We are setting a better lap time again. Look at that, guys. We are going to be setting a 125.666. Nothing like a good old 666 number right there. You know what that means, don't you? Yep. I can't bring out that kind of level of driving. I can't bring out that devil inside me and drive as good as what you would hope that I'd drive. I just don't have it in me, guys. I'm too much of an angel. I'm too passive. Anyway, braking 100 meter board in third gear, touching the brakes over the curb on the right hand side, and away we go again. We are catching up to position 4 actually. We've gained a second back already. I guess I found my mojo a little bit. As going through here, could have gone through again a little touch faster, and accelerating up the hill we go. Keeping the right hand side, touching the brakes at a 200 meter marker, rub the curb and left, accelerating a little bit earlier, probably gone a little bit faster through there as well. And up the hill we go. We've actually lost a little bit of time now. We are slightly off pace. Braking a little bit late, taking a chance there, and just about surviving it, but it wasn't really worth it. I was curious with the medium tyres, could I brake a slightly bit later? I'd take a chance at the top of the hill, but with a lift off of the car, it just wasn't worth it. I just ended up locking up. Coming to the right side, touching the brakes at 200-meter marker. There we go, and accelerating out the corner. We have 2 laps to go, guys, and we're hopefully going to be holding on to that position 5. I mean, I'm actually quite grateful for this position in itself, because we did start off quite far down the pack, and we have done actually surprisingly well. This is certainly not the fastest car in the touring car GT series. How is it in the touring car series? I have no idea. In the GT series, especially the GT3, but it is the most, I would say, probably user-friendly car. I mean, if there's any other cars that you think that are more user-friendly than what I'm driving, I mean, the Acura is pretty good. I quite like the Bentley, although it's a big old beast, and the Mercedes is okay. But what is your favourite car to choose from in the GT3 series? Let me know down below. Top of the hill, 200-meter marker, 3rd gear through here. Look at that, getting it right for the first time. Only took 19 laps to do it, and we actually are setting a better lap time. Like I say, it only took 19 laps of practice, and I guess the final lap is one that counts. We are breaking away from the car behind and also catching up to the car up in front, although position 1 is keeping a consistent time away from us all. I think it's alright when you're on your own little bit of peace and have no traffic or anything. You can really just keep a set pace and a strong pace, and you've got nothing to worry about. Nobody behind you, all around you, breathing down your neck. And you can see on the map right now, they are quite far away. Now, we have set a 125.268. Again, improvements can be made. Down to the 2nd gear here, rubbing that curb on the left, touching the curb again and accelerating out. Maybe a little bit too early there. I did go into the gravel. Just at 100-meter board, 3rd gear, round this curb, we're going accelerating out the other side. Keep to the left hand side here, touch of the brakes, over the curb on the right, accelerate out the corner. Could have gone a bit quicker through there. Thus, I would have been able to come out a little bit wider. Look at that 200-meter board, down to 3rd gear here, 80 miles per hour, accelerating out the other side, and up the hill we go. We're going to want to keep ourselves on the right hand side here, 200-meter marker, touch the brakes, 95 to 100 through there, and away we go. We are 7 seconds away from She Loves Faye, which is absolutely brilliant. And we're actually 3.1 seconds away from position 6, so they all must have chosen medium tyres as they went into the pits for the halfway through the race, and now it's pretty much biting them in the backside. It's a shame. I could have done with a couple of more laps there, and then I would have been able to really capitalise upon that. As you can see, 4 seconds away to the car up in front. Oh, that is such a shame. 3.8, 3.6. Oh, it is such a shame. I reckon 1 or 2 more laps would have been golden, but as one of very few absolute great races we've had here, and it was, besides the first corner, relatively clean. It was absolutely spotless, and it was brilliant. So credit where credit's due. But before you do all run away, as I said earlier, we are doing a channel giveaway for channel members only. So if you'd like to be part of that draw, join now and become a channel member. And here's more information on what is happening. I have been donated a controller to be given away to a random channel member. Now, this controller is out of box. It hasn't been used. It is like brand new. It's just the box has been open. If you'd like to be part of the draw, you must become a channel member. So click that join button down below. And if you have any further questions, please ask down in the comment section down below as well. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Goodbye.